I know when I review pieces from a long time, I go very slowly the first few times, and then it kind of comes, the fingerings come back like you're a dancer, and you know your steps that you thought you forgot. They come back. You could go back into it with a slow tempo. Now start to do the echo. So I'm not getting too soft too soon. But that would be a crescendo up, and at the end you're coming back to the same thing you started. And then you'd go, right? From the arpeggio. That's measure 6. Good job. So what are you doing there? It's all coming back. It's coming back. Okay, now what we want to do...
Didn't use a pedal.
Right, right. Now we want to go back to the beginning. I think you know your left hand. It's very sparse. The left hand is just doing, you know. It's not a heavy weight. Right? Sparse. Giving you a harmony. It's not counterpoint at all. It's not even romantic counterpoint. The melody's upstairs. Okay, let's hear the two hands.
Without pedal, I don't
Okay,
know.
you could do it without the pedal. Yeah, I always start without the pedal. I do. It gives you you hear the clean lines that you're creating.
Okay.
And then you add the pedal. That's a good idea.
That's good.
And even in reviewing it. Yeah, be careful of this. Be careful because there's no staccato note on there. So you want to make sure you use your wrist. Do the pet the cat. Pet the cat. Pet the cat. And the cat is going to be a little delayed there. Pet, delay the cat. So you get a half note after a quick note. Yeah, but use that like I'm doing, the pet the cat, so you don't get that stiff kind of sort of, you know, abrupt sound on those notes, but they're very sweet. Yeah, can you swing up too? This is almost a cliche in music. Da 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 da. You'd roll up to that note because you're upbeat to your beautiful G there. Swing up. You got to be careful of that. You know, that's a tricky place.
Yes,
that's
that chord.
a third beat, and he puts a chord under it, which means it can thump easily instead of lift up. Da, da. Look how what I do. That lifts it up instead of that. Because now you're very exposed without the pedal practice that you're doing. It exposes everything. Yeah. So I've heard a lot of pianists do straight eighth notes there. I hear them doing more. And then in other places he actually writes in the dotted eighth 16th. But here it's indicated. It's indicated as 2/8, but there's a footnote in gray. And we're going to do the 2/8 there with the little ornament on it. Good. I'm going to be real fussy. When you get to that second beat of measure 4, that chord can come in too soon. This chord can come in too soon. That's a secondary dominant to the C minor. Because we're doing back tempo. This is a back tempo revisit of your piece, right? Back tempo without pedal. Very good. Back tempo without pedal revisit. Okay, so we're going back to 1, 2, measure 3. Here again, 1 and 2 and 3 and 1 and 2 and 3 and... You really have to have your beats stretched out, right? So they don't prematurely crowd. It's hard to do that when you're playing this slowly, but if you can play really with good control slowly, it bodes really well for when you inch up, you will preserve that sense of control. There's a lot of breathing in this piece. It's all about breathing it. To remember that your left hand is with your right hand going horizontal, even though you're doing lifting up after beats, it's still going horizontal. That's the tricky thing about those after beats, because they can start getting vertical and then they start cutting up your right hand. So let the left hand cruise horizontally along with the right hand. Float, that's a good word, float. So you have to get that physical sensation of the arms floating together across, even though one hand is lifting, right, to an after beat. Start right there at the bottom of the arpeggio. That would be measure 6.
6, yes,
Yeah.
okay.
You gotta be careful of this. You didn't quite do that, but it's sort of...
It's noticeable, yeah, I realize that.
That's a hard thing to do, because you have to keep in mind how you are phrasing the long line above. And let this be subservient to that. It is. And indeed, this is subservient to that long line. It's harmonic. It's giving you a ground harmony, but it shouldn't be where all your attention is. It's really upstairs, to that beautiful spun line upstairs. And this just serves to give you this beautiful harmonic bedding. It's bedding. So it's like a feather bed. Don't let it jump out. Good. Yeah, be careful again careful of that. Wah, 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 ee, ah, dum. Use the pet the cat again. This time we do have a dotted A16th written in bold, meaning we think that's the composer writing that. It's not an eighth anymore. You start the measure before where you're going da, dee, dee, da, da, da. That's another place, but you did that well. Ti, 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 here it is, thumb 3, right? Thumb 3, thumb 3, thumb 3. That's where the wrist really cushions that. It's a shock absorber to those kind of gaspy sounds that you don't want. What you want to do there? Ti. That's your thread. Ti. Yeah, remember we talked about there's how many E flats in that measure? So there's 3, and if they're all the same, they're going to be jumping out. So they all have a different role in that measure. So you actually had a resolution before that of a dominant to the A flat. Ta-da, resolved. So that can't be big. And then you roll around to T to that. Not, but ta-da, ta-da, right? So wrist forward on the last E flat stops it from jumping out. Ta-da, lean less. Right? Does that make sense?
Yeah. Yeah.
Because that's where your choreography really helps your phrasing. So start with the, start right there on 13 where the E flat is kind of down because it resolved from its own dominant before. Right? Right? That was a secondary dominant of A flat major, correct? Yeah.
Yeah.
Now that's the 4 chord of E flat, and that's going to quickly absorb into E flat major because it's the subdominant. He's decorating the subdominant, embellishing the subdominant, which easily goes to the dominant to the tonic E flat, right? Like this. And make sure that left hand doesn't mark out vertical beats, but it's going horizontal with the right hand.
Okay.
Remember, it's subservient to the right hand. It's saying, I'm groveling up to you guys because you got the solo here. And I'm not the soloist, you are. It's pretty good. Crescendo. Right. Show me the right hand. How are you going to constitute that crescendo, and then where are you going? Ultimately, you're going across the measure to a bigger F than the G. Although the G is pretty good. It's the highest note. I would still go to the over the measure note. The 6th, right? So show me the right hand again for that configuration of what you're doing.
Okay.
Let's measure 14. Yeah, that's good. I like what you did here, but I think I would want more here. And then I'd bring it down to there. Right? Tag it. That was nice. And you need that bundle on that F A flat so then you can do the beautiful diminuendo, which he shows there, right? He shows the open crescendo on this, right? Which is in gray, but I agree with it. That's good. I just want to go, I want to make sure we get to this whole thing. I know you're going to repeat it, but let's hear the second part. Okay, so the second part is, suddenly the melody's in the left hand. The cello, that's a cello there. But you know, it's a good idea if we just do this first.
Okay.
So we're going from, so we know the pulse. So we're going from the previous measure, ending the first section as if we did it twice, continuing to the B section. Let's go back to T, O. T, O, T, 3-1, right? Remember those little delays to long notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, let's get the dead weight arms. Good. Yeah, this is make sure this is the dominant 7 of E flat. This is inverted. It's inverted. This would be the full chord. This would be the first inversion of the dominant. 5-6-5 we call it. So it's in first inversion, and we just don't have the F here. We just have 3 notes of it. You only need 3 notes. You only need 2 notes to know it's a dominant 7. So it would be like this. Right?
Yeah.
Okay, so we're right there with the first inversion of the dominant of E flat, and we're playing the left hand as the melody under that. nice. So the D is tied, I believe.
Okay.
I do it at the same time, right? With pedal, it'll be a lot nicer. But we're doing it without pedal first. Da-dee, da-dee. See if you can swing around to da-dee, da-dee. Now this is a case where both lines are important, right? Because up to now, pretty much we're listening to the left hand, and now we hear the right hand finishing with a melody as well. So that's important as well, but this is I still think I would bring out more of the left hand because that's what the listener's been hearing all along is the cello. Yeah,
Okay.
I would really like dote on that left hand. We're at measure 23 going to the first ending, then repeating the B and going to the second ending. Very lateral. See lateral? Be careful of this happening. Because remember, you're rolling. Right? Drag them around to your destination. Mi, re, do. Good. Yeah, remember this is a little turnaround. Soft this time. Remember everything's now without the pedal. Why? Because reviewing without the pedal. Good. Okay, show me. Let's go right to that first ending, and that's a soft. And then you're coming in softer, and then swell dee dee. See?
Okay.
Good. It's a big jump. It's a big jump. Lateral, lateral. And then coming back to.
I forgot about the.
Yeah.
I should.
Fall down. It's running away a little because we're at a very slow tempo and it's harder to keep a controlled slow tempo. So this was your tempo. Right? Got a little bit quickened. Okay, let's go back to when you're coming back to the beginning. Careful there. Oop, don't get faster. So this is the final, we've heard this, the listeners heard this is the third time, right? Because you repeat, and it's the final third time. At the very end, they need to know you're not going to go to the B section after that. So you're going to stretch out. You can do a little rubato at the end, right?
I forgot about that. I forgot where I was.
This piano is so heavy. Very good. This is exactly the way to revisit it. So you don't get bothered by your pedaling yet, and you hear distinct lines. You hear your phrases. You're breathing. You're playing slow enough that you have wells of breath, and you're not losing your breath because you have deep breaths in and out, relaxed. Right? That's the whole thing. You have to have that for this. Very good.